So they say charity begins at home, isn't it? Now, what happened to me today? So I was home. I live in a place called Tebibiano in the Teshie area. I was home and I heard loud sound, noise. So I asked my people in the house, what's happening? They said that the youth are demonstrating about the Teshie Roads. They're not happy with it. I said, yeah, I think that I'm not happy with it. And then they said, they are coming to your gate. I said, oh, really? Let them come. So I came to my gate and said, look, you go on TV every day are talking. Don't you tell the minister that the road in front of your house is not good, that the road behind your house is not good. I said, I'll tell the minister. Say, today we are watching, you have to say it. And we spoke in Ga. Those of you who don't understand Ga, Afi, Bleo. Those of you who don't understand Ga, that's for you. But we spoke and I promised that I will be dealing with the matter. So tonight I cannot but start from home. Charity, they say, begins at home. So let me come to my first story, which is from home. Honorable Adom-Otchere, good evening. Oh, good evening. He's my uncle. Adom-Otchere, thank you very much for being there. I think that he's one of the great performing ministers in all the difficulties of COVID and all of that. Adom-Otchere has stood tall in terms of what is happening. Those of you who live in East Legon, you see what he's doing with the East Legon Bridge. Those of you who are in Kumasi, you see what he's doing. Koko Anyidoho has actually showed a video of a road that GEG Rawlings had been concerned about. And Koku, had told GEG Rawlings to mention to Akufo-Addo. Akufo-Addo said he will mention to Adom-Otchere. And Koku has beautiful testimony on social media where he's showing the photographs of the road. So Adom-Otchere is great. Please, sir, the Teshie Roads, I beg you. The one around my area, you see, the Teshie bypass, not the main road. When you get into Teshie and you want to use the bypass to get towards Spintex is bad. The road from Spintex Road into the Teshie Nungwa Estates is bad. All the roads in the Teshie Nungwa Estates are bad. The road from Greda Estates, from Teshie at the first junction to Greda Estates is terrible. It's very bad. And the taxi drivers, you see, that's how they do it. The taxi drivers there in the Teshie first junction, they go to Greda Estates, they go about 20 times a day. And that's their bread, which is good for them because the trotro brings the people to First Junction and they distribute to the other parts. If you look at it in terms of a river, you can call it the tributaries of the river. So they receive the people and then they distribute. Now, the distribution route is just awfully bad. So if you have a small taxi car, a Hyundai, something like that you're using to, it will break down. It will break down very soon. So we agree with the Teshie people. The road is bad. Chief, please, we beg you. Can you say something about what you want to do with the Teshie Road? Meanwhile, thank you for doing the Lekma Hospital Road. So Teshie people, I think I've delivered the message and I'll follow up. The Honorable Adom-Otchere would deal with it and give it to us. Another matter I have to tell Honorable Adom-Otchere is the motorway. Look at this. I drove on the motorway recently. Look at this, viewers. Look at this. This is like a crime. And I don't know whether there are more photographs of the motorway, but they'll send me some. Yes, this is another one. Hey, this is the motorway. Oh. So, but we are hearing that the contracts for the tripleization or the quadrupleization of the motorway has been given for the last 6 years. That's what we are being told. I've been monitoring Asase Radio and I've heard them talking about it, but we have the story. The story is that one of my uncles, Adom-Otchere is my uncle, but one of my uncles in the MPP, I won't mention his name now, they say that he has interest in somebody who has been given the contract over the last 6 years. So the person is not performing the contract on the motorway. And because of my uncle, the important person, they are not able to sort of terminate and have other contractors move on to the ground. Because this is not great. Can you show me the other photograph? This is not good at all. This is very, very bad. The motorway, it's a death trap. And these days, a lot more people, because Accra has become expensive to live in and is choked, a lot more, especially my friends who grew up in Tema. I think all my friends that I met in Presec who lived in Tema, they still live there 25, 30 years after the fact. They've left their parents' house, but they decided to live in Tema. I don't know why that is with all of us. Those who grew up in Dansuma want to live in Dansuma. Those who grew up in North Kaneshie want to live in North Kaneshie. Those of us who grew up along the beach, we want to remain there. We don't want to go to Adenta. We don't want to go to East Legon. We want Teshie Labadi Osu, Teshie Labadi Osu, Teshie Labadi Osu. That's where we grew up. That's what we were. That's where we want to be. We don't want to go anywhere. So the people in Tema, they are there. They are plenty. And they are crisscrossing the motorway every day. Every day people are crisscrossing the motorway to go to GMPC. They are crisscrossing the motorway to go to Tema Oil Refinery. We can't have a motorway that is bad. it's not great. And I mean, we are following the story, and we'll bring it to you viewers. But this 6-year contract that has not been honored, and which is still hanging over our heads, for which reason the motorway is not being done, I think it's not great. Please have my uncle Adom-Otchere's photograph there again. Let me greet him again, and then I'll introduce to you 2 of our new people who are going to be reading text messages for us today. So here is my uncle, Kwesi Adom-Otchere. I salute you, sir. Good evening. Please, Teshie and motorway, especially Teshie, because charity begins at home. But also importantly, motorway, because too many Ghanaians are using it. And yes, free SHS is good, it's all that good, but Akufo-Addo's legacy must be wholesome. You see, so we can't have an Akufo-Addo legacy. Those of us who want to be able to develop a narrative about Akufo-Addo's legacy, we don't want an Akufo-Addo's legacy that is minus the motorway, because it is really doable. It's not complicated. And the idea of the quadrupleization of the motorway is great for the legacy. So, Honorable Kwesi Adom-Otchere, salute you this evening. Please, motorway, we beg.